Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Kol Kodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who are the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharala, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, who before losing their true heritage were known as and still are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the spiritual blessings and traits for the Edomites, who are the so-called Caucasian race today, and the nation of Israel, who are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians today. But before we get into that, let's read this. This is Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. Right? And the key here is that the Spirit, right? Now the Spirit that we're going to take a few examples of today in this lesson is the energy, right? Your soul that is inside of you that lets you do the things you do, right? Lets you talk a certain way, lets you perform a certain way, right? It also inclines you to certain things. Now the Bible leans on this notion, right, when it comes to blessings. Like, for example, ESAU, right, who is the progenitor of the Edomites today, he was given a blessing, just like the forefathers of the Israelites, Jacob, was also given a blessing, right? And also the nation themselves were also provided a blessing, and there was things and hints said about this people that gave hints to how these people would be. But we'll get into that in just a bit. But right now I want to focus on the traits of ESAU, right? His spiritual traits that would all come from this blessing. Now this is in Genesis 27 and 40. And actually I'm going to start at 39. Genesis 27 and 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right? So in this blessing for Edom, right, ESAU, there was a particular verse or phrase that explains why the Caucasians are so in love with their guns. Why when you look up the term hunter, all you see is pretty much Edomites out there hunting things, right? This is why their families have multiple guns usually, right? This is why you see things like this video.
Rounds in our little binary, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun. More like a lot.
That was it.
Hey, what's your name? Maverick? That is awesome. How old are you, Maverick? He is 4 years old. Show me what you do with the gun. Do it again. Take the magazine out. Oh, can you put it back in? High five. Yeah, get it done. Whoa. That is adorable.
There are the spiritual traits that came from this blessing that the Edomites received, right? Now, these were little kids, mind you, okay? Yes, that little girl, she has trained. She's fairly popular for always coming out with videos with her shooting multiple types of guns, right? But the point being is that, did you see how natural she was with that gun, right? The same thing with this little kid, Maverick. right? That kid was, sliding that stock like it was nothing. Was able to eject that magazine as if it was second nature to him. And why is that? Well, because that is his people's blessings, right? The Edomites' blessings are to be proficient, or to be the most proficient with their sword, right? Like it tells you here, it says, by thy sword shalt thou live, right? And when you look into how the Caucasian race has dominated and ruled over the world, they've done it through their weaponry, through their military might, and just in general, their guns, right? This is how they keep law enforcement. This is how they solve most of the problems. When you get into the majority of where the power of the Caucasian race comes from, it goes back to some sort of weaponized power. Okay, it may not necessarily be a sword or a gun, but whatever it is, they've weaponized it. Right? They made it into something that they can, magnify their blessing on. Right? And again, that's a little different for the Israelites, who again are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. We weren't blessed with the sword like these Edomites were, right? This is why you'll see hundreds of videos of our people holding guns the wrong way, shooting, hundreds of rounds and not hitting a bullseye, right? Or guns flying out of their hands when they're at the gun range, right? Because and they could be grown ass, adults. And it's funny how that is. Now, yes, you're going to have exceptions. You're going to have some very good, proficient shooters, right? The elder Barak from our camp, man, he's a very good, long range, shooter himself, man. But again, that is an exception to the rule, right? As a nation in general, these blessings don't fall upon us, right? We have different blessings which the Lord gave onto us, right? And how did he do this? Well, because you see, us Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, we have a different spirit on us, right? And that spirit is the spirit of the Most High Father, right? And with this spirit, we are a special people. We have a certain groove to us, a certain flavor, I guess you could say, right? And it's been referred to by the Messiah himself as salt, right? It says, this is Matthew 5:13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is henceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. Now, what does this mean? Right? What does it mean to be the salt of the earth? Well, it means that when we do things, we're going to do it with style, with finesse, with an excellency that the rest of the world is not going to possess, right? Just as we don't possess the blessing of the sword like Esau does, the rest of the world can't come over us and dominate in things that we dominate, right? Look at the sports world, look at the modeling world, look at the singing world, right? The things that we are able to excel at, right? We've got things like this. Look at that, right? Little kids playing in the field, good as heck at sports, man. And you see that little jump at the end, man? Jake does that shit with style, right? See, we do things with finesse. Look at this.
We
That's fresh, right? See, so that right there, you got Ephraim and Judah here, man. Right? Both spitting out lyrics like it's nothing, man. Doing it as if it's second nature, like as if they're literally talking, right? But they're singing and rapping and flowing, you know, with ease. You know, there's so many videos out there too where you see, you know, Edomites or other nations trying to rap or trying to sing. It's hilarious how much of a difference of a contrast that is. Well, again, that is because the Spirit of the Lord rests upon His people, the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, right? And this is just some more examples of what that actually means.
Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami.
Now check that out, man. This girl, she's what? She's probably like 5, 6. Look at her moving, man. These are amazing dance skills, man. Rhythm, right? Like there's tons and tons of spirit in this, man. Look, that's you know, and then you got things like this. Look, this is like a 2-year-old baby, I think, right? Look, a little Ephraimite baby. Look at this. Or he knows how to like dance salsa and stuff, right? See, that's beautiful, man. See, because the Spirit, even from when you're little, right, it bears witness to you know who you are as a people, man. See, look at this kid, man. His name's Ivan. I think he's an Ephraimite.
Oh, bring it back! Bring it back! Hey, 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 hey! Go crazy! Go, go, Ivan! Go, Ivan! Go, Ivan! Go! Hey, hey!
That's awesome, right? You see, and this is what it means to be able to have a blessing, to be able to you know, to use it, right? So just as you've seen those little Edomite kids that were, you know, shooting those guns like as if, you know, it was second nature to them, you know, you have, you know, the spiritual gifts, the spiritual blessings that us Israelites have, man, where we could dance and sing and do things in sports and all these things where other nations they can't. Like, for example, here are some Edomite kids dancing, right? And let's see.
Oh yeah.
See, there is no salt in this, man. You know, hey, they're having fun, but you see, there's a big difference between what these kids are doing at an older age, right? They're probably the same age as that Ivan kid, but they don't got that dance, that spirit in them, man. And again, it's not just ESAU, man. These are some Elamite kids, right? Some so-called Indians, you know, kids. Let's see them dancing, right? No coordination, right? See? So that spirit that, produces, what I showed you a little while ago, where you even have little toddlers, little babies able to dance the salsa, right? You have, or little Judites being able to dance with such beautiful rhythm. That spirit is not in these other vessels, in these other nations, right? They have, this is what that produces when there's no, spirit, like there's the spirit of the Israelites. Right? But one thing that these Edomites, they do naturally, right, that their spirit does bring forth, are things of wickedness, right? Because when you look at these Edomites, man, it tells you, right? It says that the spirit in them is not right within them, and that they go off, from the birth, speaking lies, right? And ultimately, when you get into like the nature of Edomites, man, even as a little kids, man, they display, wicked traits. Look at this, man. She's playing with her My Little Pony sets, but here she did. She drew up a summoning circle, right? That's witchcraft. That's paganism, Satanism for the most part, right? And the thing is that, she may not know that. I doubt she does, but she's okay with it, right? See, her spirit naturally inclines to this, and it produces this sort of fruit. Okay, right? Here's some more images of this, right? Some more Edomites just drawing pentagrams, because again, they are drawn to this, just like our people are drawn to dancing, to music, to doing things like they're more religiously inclined, right? These Edomites, their spirit is more inclined to do things that have to do with witchcraft, wickedness, right? And again, not only does their spirit incline them to do certain things which are not of the Lord, but because they're missing that spiritual gift, that blessing, right? They don't have the same type of flavor, same salt as our people. And this is what we ultimately mean when we tell people that though they may not look Negroes, like a Negro, Latino, or Native Indian, but by their spirit, by the way that they're talking, by the they're just what they're expressing, right? We can tell if somebody is an Israelite or not, right? This is obviously we go a bit into their father's lineage, right? And if and lo and behold, a lot of the so-called what looks like to be like a white person, right, or of another nation, when you look into their father's lineage, it goes back to a Negro, Latino, Native Indian, or somebody else's bloodline that goes back to that bloodline, right? And ultimately, again, the spirit that is within us Israelites, right? It's a special spirit, right? It's a spirit from the Most High, right? Because again, on the earth, there are three manner of people: the sons of God, which are us Israelites; the sons of man, which are these other nations, right? The other 16 nations upon the earth. That would be like the Japanese, the Chinese, the Elamites or Persians, the Syrians, and then the sons of the wicked, right? That would be the so-called Caucasian race, right? The spirit which is within the Edomites, that's the spirit of the devil, man. That's why they do wicked shit naturally, right? They create they create chaos. They destroy naturally, right? You look at the spirit within the Israelites, right? We naturally create, right? This is why do you think there's so many Black, Latino, Native Indian inventors of things, man? We invent so much, but we don't get paid for it or recognized for it, man. Like it tells you in the scripture, right? That we shall sow, but we shall not reap, right? Because this is just one of the curses that we're under right now, man. Right? But again, it all goes back to us being a particularly special people, as it tells you here in Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh B'Shem Ashai, thy power. Yahweh B'Shem Ashai, thy power, hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And what that means is that the Lord starting from Adam and Eve all the way down to Jacob, he cultivated that seed line, right? He chose one brother and rejected another, right? He chose a certain lineage and pushed the others away, right? And ultimately, he did this fine work of selection until he finally got to where he was happy with the fruit, right? He, like it tells you, man, a tree or a fruit will show if the tree's been dressed, right? And the seed of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, we are bearing that witness, right? That our seed line has been dressed by the Lord, right? We have been cultivated and made to be a beautiful people, not only physically but spiritually, right? By our talents, by our the things that we could do, and again, that is all thanks to the Most High Yahweh Bashim Ashai, which is the true Hebrew name of the Father, right? And Bahashem Yahushai means in the name of Yahushai, his son, which again is Hebrew for He is salvation, right? And ultimately, right now, the Lord, because we are these special people, He has not forsaken us, and He is now in this time when we're this close to the end of the world, right? The end of this empire of the Edomites. He is now waking us back up to our former glory, so that He can restore us back to the great empire that we were before, right? And it's going to go even further than that. But again, I just wanted to touch upon this, Akim. I just seen those videos of those Edomites, shooting those guns, and I just made me think of their spiritual blessings, man. And it also made me think of our spiritual blessings. So I just wanted to touch upon that since I haven't talked on that subject for a while. But hopefully this video was edifying. So until the next time, I want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Kodesh. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.